She made me empty my purse in front of the entire staff. 20 years of keeping that family's books. And my sister-in-law turned my handbag upside down next to the bread racks, hunting for an envelope of cash. I didn't say a word, because Carol had made one mistake before she touched my purse. She assumed I kept only receipts. I kept records. And 1 week earlier, those records had already told me where the money really went. I'd even given her one quiet chance to say it first. My name is Ellen. I'm 52, and for 20 years, I kept the books at Hartwell & Sons, my husband's family bakery. By breakfast, they would ask me to leave through the same front door I had unlocked for 2 decades. I married Tom when the oven still ran on his father's stubbornness and a prayer. When his parents retired, Tom took the baking, his sister Carol took the front of the house, and I took the numbers. I was there at 4:30 in the morning when the first trays went in. Marisol at the register used to say the place ran on 3 things: yeast, butter, and Ellen's spreadsheets. It wasn't my name over the door. It didn't need to be. That bakery paid for braces, a new roof over the shop, and my daughter's first semester. I loved it the way you love something you've held together with your own hands. For most of those 20 years, Carol and I were fine. Not close, but fine. She was the face out front, quick with customers, quicker with a joke. People like Carol get used to one thing, though. They get used to somebody else quietly fixing whatever they break. The numbers started lying in the spring. Small at first. The kind of small that makes a woman question herself before she questions someone else. A deposit $40 short. A register drawer that didn't match the tape. Carol waved it off at the counter. "Ellen, honey, your math is showing its age." She said it smiling. In front of the delivery driver. I checked my math. My math was fine. Then, in October, the bank statements came, and I did what I'd done every month for 20 years. I matched every canceled check against the ledger. Except this time, 3 of them didn't match anything. Vendor checks, reissued, payroll corrections nobody had asked for, and a check to a company called B&C Supply, $1,400, for goods we'd never ordered. I sat with that statement until the kitchen went dark around me. Because I knew the handwriting on the endorsement, I'd watched that looping C on birthday cards for 20 years. You can know something with your eyes a long time before you let your heart catch up. I photographed every check, every correction, every page. I put the copies in a green folder, and the folder in my desk at home. Not as a weapon, I want you to understand that, as a seatbelt. The next Tuesday, I waited until the front had emptied and the racks were being wiped down. I asked Carol for 2 minutes in the back office. I closed the door and I kept my voice as level as I'm keeping it now. "Carol, if there's anything about the vendor account you need to tell me, now is the time, while it's still just the 2 of us." She didn't ask which vendor. She didn't ask what I meant. Remember that. She looked me dead in the eye, picked a crumb of flour off her sleeve and said, "Just do your job, Ellen." So I did. I went home and I told my green folder we'd be waiting. The staff meeting was on a Monday morning before opening. All of us between the proof boxes and the bread racks, Marisol, Big Sam from the ovens, the 2 weekend girls. Carol stood in the middle with a clipboard, like a woman holding a verdict. She said there were shortages. She said the deposits had been coming up light for months. She said, and I'll quote her exactly, "We've narrowed it down to the person who touches the money last." Every head in that room turned to me, and then she said it. "Ellen, open your purse so we can all move on." Here's what I remember. The hum of the proof boxes, the smell of the first batch browning, Marisol staring at the floor, like it owed her an apology. I could have started shouting about canceled checks right there, but an accusation screamed, "In a bakery is just noise. Proof has its own schedule." So I opened my purse. I set it on the flour table and I took everything out with both hands. My reading glasses, a grocery list, the little photo of my daughter at her dorm, no envelope, no cash. Carol didn't apologize. She said, "This isn't over," and told me I was suspended while the family, quote, reviewed the books. My books. I untied my apron, folded it on the table, and walked past 20 years of bread without a word. The bell over the door never sounded so loud. Tom found out from a text message before I was even home. He wanted to drive down there and flip the flour table. I told him no. I told him the truth needed to arrive wearing a suit, not a temper. And then, Carol did the one thing I never could have planned. She filed an insurance claim, employee theft, my name on it. She wanted the money twice, you see. Once out the back door, and once from the insurance company, with me as the receipt. But here's what Carol never learned. Insurance companies don't take your word for it. A claim like that doesn't end with a phone call. It triggers an independent forensic review. Outside accountants, bank records requested in writing, every canceled check under a stranger's lamp. She lit that match herself. I just declined to blow it out. When the auditor called me, he asked if I had records. I said, I have 20 years of them, and a green folder I think you'll want to see. I drove it down that afternoon, handed him the folder and said, the checks will tell you themselves. 6 weeks later, the insurer's auditor asked the family to meet in the back office. He asked me to come too. I was, in his words, the only set of clean hands on the account. He laid the checks out on the desk, like a dealer who'd seen every con there is. 14 canceled checks over 2 years, $23,000. B and C Supply, the vendor nobody had heard of. A P.O. box. Registered in Carol's maiden name. The payroll corrections, routed to a second account. Her account. And the endorsements, that looping C I'd known from birthday cards, matched to a high degree of certainty. Nobody spoke. The proof boxes hummed through the wall. Carol looked at the checks. Then she looked at me, and I watched her understand that I had known since October. You knew, she said, like I was the one who owed an explanation. I kept my voice level, same level as behind that closed door in October. I asked you one question. You told me to do my job. So I did. Then I turned to the family, because the next part mattered more than she did. I'm not pressing charges. I won't put my daughter's aunt in a courtroom. But I have one condition. The staff hears the truth, all of it, in the same room where you watched me empty my purse. And I don't ever stand behind that counter again. They did it that Friday, same spot, between the proof boxes and the racks. Tom read the auditor's summary out loud. Then his father said the words Carol never had. Ellen did not steal from this bakery. The insurance claim was withdrawn. Carol repaid every dollar. She no longer works the front counter. Marisol cried. Big Sam didn't say anything. He just walked me to my car and shook my hand like a man closing an honest deal. People ask if I wanted more. Charges? A headline in the county paper? No. Rage is just another debt, and I was done carrying other people's debts. I didn't want her ruined. I wanted it said out loud. There's a difference, and the difference is where your dignity lives. It's been a year. There's a small office above the flower shop on Main Street now. Frosted glass door. Ellen Hartwell, bookkeeping. 11 clients, 3 of them from that same street. The hardware store sent me a fern. And every Friday morning, somebody from the bakery leaves a loaf of sourdough outside my door. Still warm, never a note. There doesn't need to be one. Tom brings my coffee up at 10. We're better than fine. And Carol and I pass each other at family things twice a year. I nod. She nods. Some bridges you don't rebuild. You just stop paying the toll on them. My books balance, all of them. So now I'll ask you, if you'd found that first canceled check, would you have given her one quiet chance to confess the way I did? Or would you have let the law speak first? Tell me in the comments. I read everyone.